This session is about the CSAT, Civil Services Aptitude Test. CSAT means that Civil Services Aptitude Test. Okay, so what do you know about the CSAT exam? I think that when you are preparing for UPSC, you need to know that what are the pattern of this UPSC exam, UPSC Civils exam, right? I think few of you are aware of that. So in prelims, we have two papers, that is GS paper 1 and GS paper 2. Okay, that GS paper 2 is popularly known as CSAT. And now we'll discuss about this CSAT paper. So what this paper means that actually. Okay, let's look at that. What is CSAT actually? CSAT, the full form of CSAT is Civil Services Aptitude. Okay, this is actually General Studies paper 2, which is popularly known as CSAT. In UPSC prelims, we have the second paper that is called CSAT. The full form of CSAT is Civil Services Aptitude Test. And it is a part of civil service examination for prelims conducted by the UPSC. Yes, as I mentioned earlier. So it is nothing but, CSAT paper is nothing but, it's a part of UPSC preliminary exam. And actually this particular CSAT paper, CSAT was introduced in the year 2011. So why this UPSC introduced this CSAT separately? Because it wants to assess UPSC aspirants' analytical skills, comprehension and interpersonal skills, decision making and problem solving abilities, aptitude and reasoning ability. This is the reason why they introduced CSAT exam separately, CSAT paper separately. See, it was introduced in the year 2011. So before 2011, there was no paper. There is no separate paper for CSAT. You have only one paper, prelims paper. But only later, from 2011 onwards, we have CSAT paper separately conducted, right? Next, let us look at the exam pattern of CSAT. This is the most important thing. If anybody hasn't aware of idea about this CSAT, what is CSAT, how the exam pattern, then you can see that. So, exam pattern for UPSC CSAT. Basically, it is an objective type. Okay, it's not a descriptive, it is an objective one. And next, the number of questions, total number of questions is 80. So we have 80 questions in this paper. In CSAT, we have 80 questions. Okay. And is there any negative marking? Yes, there is a negative marking, that is 1/3 of the maximum marks. So coming to that, first of all, what is the if you attempt a correct answer, what is the maximum marks you get for every correct answer? That is 2.5 marks. So if you attempt a correct answer, then you get 2.5 marks. That is 2.5 marks. Yes, as he mentioned that there is negative marking also. The negative marking is 1/3 of the maximum marks of the question, which means that 1/3 of the 2.5 marks, 2.5 marks, which is equal to 1/3 of 2.5 marks means that equal to 0.833 marks. So it means that if you attempt the correct answer, you will get 2.5 marks. Same time, if you attempt a wrong answer, if you mark a wrong answer, then you will lose that 0.833 marks, which I would say that approximately 1 mark. So it's very important that you should remember. So don't hurriedly do that. Don't hurriedly make that mark the answers. Okay, you understand it, because there is a negative marking also. Next, the duration of the exam is 2 hours. So the duration for 80 questions, the duration given is 2 hours, which is equal to 120 minutes. 120 minutes. So 80 questions, the time allotted to this 80 questions is 120 minutes. And language of this CSAT paper is either it will be in English or Hindi. But comprehension is there, one part of this CSAT syllabus. That means that is exclusively on English language only. And rest of the 2 subject, that is quantitative aptitude and logical reasoning, is in the language of Hindi also. So you can have that English or Hindi as a subject medium. Okay. Next, the total marks are 200 marks. 80 questions, the total marks is 200 marks. Okay, now I'll put it in the simple words. We have 80 questions in the CSAT paper and the duration is 2 hours, that is nothing but 120 minutes. And maximum marks of the CSAT paper is 200 marks. For every right answer, you will get 2.5 marks. And also at the same time, so for every wrong answer, you will lose that 0.833 marks. That you will have to keep it in your mind. And the most and major important point in this CSAT exam is nature of this paper is qualifying. Okay, this is the most important point in CSAT. So if you are aware of it already, okay, it's good. Or otherwise, please remember that. So this is a qualifying paper. This is a qualifying paper, which does mean that, so you need to secure that minimum marks. Whatever the marks you will get in this CSAT paper, it will not be counted in the total marks. Okay, so these marks will not be counted in the final selection. It's only qualifying paper. So if you qualify in this paper, that's it. The marks will not be considered. So as you know that 200 marks, this particular paper is for 200 marks. If you get minimum marks, minimum required marks, that would be enough. If you get even 150 or 200 out of 200, so they won't consider these marks. But at the same time, you will have to qualify this paper. So then only you are eligible to write the mains paper, and then you can go for the interview. Okay. So, but coming to that, what is that qualifying mark? Officially, it is given 33% of the maximum mark. 33% of the maximum marks means that marks wise, if you say that is 66 marks out of 200 marks. Out of 200 marks, if you want to qualify in CSAT, you need to secure minimum 66 marks. Minimum 66 marks. Okay, is it clear? So out of 200 marks, if you get minimum 66 marks, then you will be qualified in this paper. So if you get 200 out of 200, 150 out of 200 or 100 plus, so the marks will not be counted in the final selection. The marks will not be counted. But at the same time, you will have to qualify this paper. Okay. So now coming to the reality about this CSAT. So if you are in the first attempt, you may thought that just it is a qualifying paper, so you don't need to give much importance to this. But the reality is, it's not just a qualifying paper. I would call this paper as eliminating paper. CSAT is no longer, it's a qualifying paper, it's an eliminating paper. UPSC wants to eliminate the students from this paper only. Okay, so most of the students think that, so just because it is a qualifying paper, we don't need to give too much of importance to this. We don't need to give importance to this paper. That is the biggest mistake one can do it. Because even though it is qualifying paper, the paper in the recent time is not that easy. Most of the students are unable to crack this paper. Okay, I hope first of all you understand the paper pattern, like, so how many questions we have, that how many marks the complete paper has, and what is the duration of the paper. I think you will come to, you understand this one. And now we talk about this, why do students fail in CSAT? Okay, you can ask your seniors or those who already attempted UPSC. They would tell you the importance of CSAT. Okay, so let's look at that. Most of the students, they fail in CSAT. You know what is the reason why they fail in CSAT? You can see that. The first one is the reality check is failure rate in CSAT. How much it is? The passing mark, we know that how much we need to get out of 200. Out of 200, we need to get 66.66 or 66 marks, 67 marks. You need to get 67 marks. See, around 25% to 40% of serious aspirants fail. So, which means that out of every 100 in recent trend, 40 students, serious aspirants, and that I'm not talking about the normal aspirants. So, I'm not talking about the time pass students, time pass aspirants. Those who are very serious about this UPSC, 40%, which means that out of every 100 serious aspirants, 40 aspirants fail in CSAT. And I have seen that many students who are exceptionally good at paper 1 unable to clear this paper 2. What is the reason? And you can also see that it's about the serious aspirants. Suppose if you are first timers or non-math students, and also I'll talk about the non-math students. If you are first timers, that means that you are going to attempt it for the first time, or you are a non-math student, then the failure percentage is more than 50%. If you are a time pass student, you should not think about that UPS at all. If you are a serious aspirant, for serious aspirants only 40% of the students fail in this CSAT paper. And for first timers and non-math students also, 50%, minimum 50% of the students fail in this. As I already mentioned that I have seen the students, personally I have seen the students that who are exceptionally good at paper 1. Some students got that more than 140, more than 130. Even they failed to clear this exam. Okay, so if you fail in this CSAT, you won't go for the mains. So your journey will stop there only. You will have to wait for the next year. So that's why it is a very, very important paper. Don't think that this is just a qualifying paper. As I already mentioned that it's not just a qualifying paper, it's an eliminating paper. If you don't give enough attention to this paper, and so you will have to wait for 1 year. It's a big blunder in your life, in your preparation. Okay, and also we see that why students fail in CSAT. We see what is the reason behind that, why students are failing in CSAT. The first important one is overconfidence. It's just qualifying, no need to prepare. This point, almost out of every 100 aspirants, 50 aspirants are like this. So it's just a qualifying paper. Why do I give importance to this? It's a qualifying paper. It's generally we have aptitude and logical reasoning, comprehension there in the paper. So we can randomly tick some questions and we'll easily qualify in this. The student's mindset is like that. So just because you are thinking in this way that it's just a qualifying paper, no need to prepare, your overconfidence kills and your overconfidence make the students to fail in CSAT. Okay, so that's why the first major important point is don't be overconfident. Okay, so CSAT is no longer an easy paper or no longer it's just a qualifying paper. You will have to give importance as much as you give importance to the GS paper. That is the first point why students fail. And the second point, weak basics, especially in quant reasoning and comprehension. And I would say that especially in the quant section. I'll also give you the statistics that how many questions you will get in every year in quant logical reasoning and comprehension. So the basic problem with the students who fail CSAT is they lack in the basics. Okay, so you will have to brush up your basics, and how you need to cover this, that I'll tell you. And the third one is time management issues. Time management issues, which mean that, so we know that as we have already seen the exam pattern, in 2 hours, that is in 120 minutes, we'll have to attempt 80 questions. Many students fail to finish these 80 questions. So we'll have to manage the time. If you are good at managing the time in an exam, then it would be not a big deal to qualify in this paper. Okay, let's look at the next one. And the last one is ignoring English comprehension. Passages are tricky and time consuming. So most of the students, what they do is they ignore the comprehension, especially if you are not an English medium student. And most of the students that they simply ignore that. And that is also one of the major mistakes you are doing. So these are the major reasons why you fail in CSAT. Okay, why somebody in CSAT. And please remember this point. Even if you score 120 plus in GS paper 1, one mistake in CSAT is equal to total disqualification. If you don't qualify in CSAT, even it doesn't matter that you get 120 plus, 130 plus, 140 plus, 150 plus. It doesn't matter. If you do not qualify in this paper, which means that it totally kills your dream of becoming IAS or IPS, at least for 1 year. Okay, you will have to again start from the scratch. You all know that how difficult it is to start from beginning to the end. Okay, that's why you give importance to CSAT only. My only suggestion is please give importance to CSAT as much as you give importance to general studies paper 1. Okay, now let's talk about the syllabus. Okay, I think if you are aware of it, okay, otherwise I'll tell you. So this is officially given. official website of UPSC is exactly given like this. The CSAT syllabus shall comprise the following broad categories, that is comprehension, interpersonal skills including communication skills, logical reasoning and analytical ability, decision making and problem solving, general mental ability, basic numeracy. Okay, so even though it was given like 6 different segments, let me put it in a simple words. Like basically there are only 3 subjects. I'll put it in very simple words. What do you have in CSAT? Okay, so what is the syllabus for CSAT? So you have only 3 subjects. That is quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning, reading comprehension. That's it. Quantitative aptitude, and that too from 6th class to 10th class. It's not the intermediate or degree level standard of questions will be getting. So it's only from 6th class to see class 10th level. So which means that 6th to 10th level. It is clearly mentioned in. Okay. So quantitative aptitude and also logical reasoning and also reading comprehension. It's related to the English. You will be given a passage and it is followed by some question, that is reading comprehension. So simply there are 3 subjects only. Okay. Quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning and reading comprehension. And next, let's look at the number of questions given in previous years. Okay, so that you will get an idea that how to prepare for CSAT. As I already told you that, so it is reading comprehension, reasoning, quantitative aptitude. This data sufficiency is related to the quantitative aptitude and reasoning only. Don't think that this data sufficiency is another subject. So there are only 3 subjects only: reading comprehension, reasoning and quantitative aptitude, QA. So this data sufficiency comes under the quantitative aptitude and logical reasoning only. So we'll talk about it one by one. So here you can clearly see the data from 2019. Okay, this represents the number of questions in 2019 and 2020, 2021, 22, 23, 24. We'll see one by one. Why I take the data from 2019 only? There is a reason. Okay, the story before 2019 is, the CSAT story before 2019 is completely different from the story from 2019. Because before 2019, the success rate of CSAT was good. Okay, so many students, even if they prepare in a moderate way, they easily qualified in the paper. But suddenly the things are turned around. From 2019 onwards, the success rate of CSAT every year decreases. What is the reason? I'll tell you. So as I told you that there are 3 sections: reading comprehension, reasoning and quantitative aptitude, right? So before 2019, much importance is given to logical reasoning and reading comprehension. You have very limited quantitative aptitude. So if you are not aware of what is quantitative aptitude, it is also a basic maths. It's not the complete math, basic maths from 6th class to 10th class. Especially for non-math students, it will be difficult to cope up with this quantitative aptitude. So before 2019, what happens is, most of the questions, 80 to 90% of the questions cover only logical reasoning and comprehension section. But the story is different from 2019. So from 2019, so more weightage is given to the quantitative aptitude. More weightage is given to the quantitative aptitude. That's why if you check the data before 2019, the students are easily manage this CSAT paper. But from 2019, it will be hard to manage this paper. The only reason is the number of questions in the quantitative aptitude drastically increased. So that is the reason why the students did not qualify from 2019. Most students did not qualify from 2019. You can see that in 2019, reading comprehension, the number of questions given were 30 questions, and reasoning 13, and quantitative aptitude is 37. Okay, 37 means that out of 80 questions we have, right? So in total we have 80 questions. Out of 80 questions, 37 questions were given from the quantitative aptitude, means almost all 50%. Before 2019, hardly we have 5 to 10% of questions from the quantitative aptitude. So here basically most of the students, 99% students feel reasoning is the easiest subject. Yes, that's true. Out of all these 3 sections, reasoning is easiest section. You can score maximum marks from that. So before 2019, more questions were given from logical reasoning, but from 2019 onwards, more weightage is given to the quantitative aptitude and as well as comprehension also. You can see that. And even 2020, if you look at that, so 26 questions were given in comprehension, only just 10 questions were given in reasoning, and quantitative aptitude again it's 39, and data sufficiency is 5 questions. These 5 questions also belong to quantitative aptitude, so which means that 43 questions and 44 questions. So you can think that how much weightage is given to the quantitative aptitude. And same the case with 2021, reading comprehension is 27, reasoning slightly better when you compare with the previous years, that is 18 questions, and quantitative aptitude 35. Of course, data sufficiency questions are not given. Even 2022, 27 questions from the comprehension. Again, the reasoning questions were drastically decreased. Almost half of the questions were cut down if you compare with the previous year. These are 9 questions, and quantitative aptitude 32. Data sufficiency, again it is maximum related to the quantitative aptitude questions only. Okay, so which means that again almost all 40 plus questions were given in quantitative aptitude. 2023, 27 questions from the reading comprehension, 11 questions from the reasoning, quantitative aptitude 36, and data sufficiency again it is related to the quantitative 40 plus again. Same you can see that 27 reasoning questions were good in 2024. That is 18 questions. Quantitative aptitude, the number is decreased slightly, but still data sufficiency, more questions are given related to the quantitative aptitude only. So anyways, we can say that minimum, overall we can say that, reading comprehension means that 27 to, we can have that 27 to 30 questions from the reading comprehension. It is on an average 12 questions to 15 questions from the reasoning, 35 to 40 questions are allotted to the quantitative aptitude. And we can expect even in 2025, similar pattern was given. Okay, so reading comprehension and reasoning and quantitative aptitude, same number of questions were given. So for the next years also, you can expect the same number of questions. From reading comprehension, you can get that 27 to 30, reasoning 12 to 15 questions, and quantitative aptitude 35 to 40 questions. We'll get that. Okay, so here the most important point to be noted is, if you want to qualify in CSAT, one thing you must remember that don't depend on only one particular section. Okay, or don't depend on only 2 sections. When you are preparing, equal importance, you should give importance to all subjects. So you should prepare for reading comprehension, you should prepare for reasoning, and you should prepare for quantitative aptitude. So normally most of the students, what they are doing is, so they would say that if they are comfortable with reasoning and comprehension, they just completely leave the quantitative aptitude. Or some math students, even I would say that for math students also, so many math students did not qualify the paper. Again, because of their overconfidence. I would say that even if you are a math student, you should give importance to the quantitative aptitude and CSAT paper. See, some students would say that like they give importance to quantitative aptitude and logical reasoning, they completely ignore reading comprehension section. So if you leave any section, so you will be in danger. Okay, so don't think that just for 80, so to get qualified 80 questions, or for 200 marks to qualify 66 marks, it's not that complicated. Don't think like that. In fact, it became complicated. To avoid that, so if you want to get through CSAT paper, the only option left with you is, you will have to consider all the 3 sections importantly. So you will have to give importance to 3 sections, all the 3 sections. You give importance to reading comprehension, you give importance to reasoning, and at the same time you also should give importance to the quantitative aptitude. Okay, so in that way only you can clear the CSAT paper. As I already mentioned that most of the students were unable to clear this paper. The first and fundamental thing is, the only reason and one of the most important reasons, as I already mentioned, that you are not giving enough attention to this paper. That is the only reason. So my suggestion would be, when you start your preparation for UPSC, give equal importance to CSAT and don't wait till the last moment. So maximum I have seen the students started their preparation for CSAT in the month of February. That's wrong actually. If you give importance from the beginning only, it won't be a difficult task for you to qualify in the CSAT paper. I hope you understand this one. Okay, so next, and I'll also give you that weightage of the topics. So if you are unable to give importance to each topic, at least there are some important topics which you should not miss, and the weightage of each from each section I give the importance and I give the weightage of each topic. You can see that quantitative aptitude. In quantitative aptitude, you see that in 2018 the number of questions, number system is one topic which is very, very, very important. So in 2019 the number of questions given in number system is 8, 2020 the number of questions is given is 18, 2021 9 questions were given, 2022 14 questions were given, 2023 23 questions were given, 2024 21 questions were given. On an average you have 16 questions from number system. You know how much 16 questions means? That 16 and 2.5, which means that 32 plus 40 marks. Marks wise, if you see that 40 marks. Okay, on an average the weightage of number system has 40 marks. What is the qualifying mark? 66. Out of 66 marks, only from the number system, on an average, how many marks you are getting? 40 marks you are getting. That's why when you prepare for the CSAT, the most important topic is number system. Even in 2025, we got more number of questions from this number system topic. If you look at that 2023 and 24, we have 23, 21 questions. You can qualify CSAT from that topic only. You can understand the weightage of number system. So when you are preparing for CSAT, you give most important to this topic. You should not leave, anybody who is preparing for CSAT, you should not leave this topic, number system. Okay, it is one of the important topics, one of the major topics in CSAT. Next, you can see that percentages and averages. Percentages, averages, the weightage is given 11 in 2019 and 2025, 8, 5, 1, 5. So again, on an average, you will get that percentages, averages mean that 6 questions we can get. So next important topic after number system is percentage and averages. And next, the major important another topic is permutations and combination. And on an average, you can see that 4 questions from this topic. Especially in 2023, we can see that maximum questions are allotted to this topic, particular topic, permutations and combinations. From the last few years, the weightage given to permutations and combinations is increased. Okay, you can also just go through this topic, permutations and combination. And also time and work, time and distance. On an average, we get 3. And number series. Actually, this is related to the logical reasoning. We get minimum on an average 2 questions from this. Ratios and proportions, again 2 questions. And profit loss, simple interest, compound interest 2. And miscellaneous 3. Okay, this is how we got that on an average the number of questions from the quantitative aptitude. Okay, is it clear? So if you see this, you will get an idea. What are the important topics you will have to cover, right? I'm showing it because you will understand that what topics you need to cover most. And next, when it comes to the logical reasoning, see in logical reasoning also we have some important topics, but even though I'm displaying everything on the logical reasoning, my suggestion is don't leave any topic in the logical reasoning, because logical reasoning is the most easiest subject among the 3 subjects. Most of the students, it doesn't matter that you belong to math background or non-math background, so still anybody can manage to do that. Okay, so when you are preparing for CSAT, you don't leave even one topic from this logical reasoning. You should give importance to each and every topic, right? Okay, you can see that again, seating arrangement and ranking. And every year, how many questions you got? So it was displayed on the board. On an average, we get 4 questions. And clocks and calendars, another important topic. So every year we are getting questions from these 2 topics. That is clocks and calendars. On an average, we are getting 3 questions from these 2 topics. And also number series. Again, every year we got the questions from number series. The number of questions allotted to this is on an average 3. Directions and blood relations, again minimum 2 questions we would expect from this. And syllogism, and again 2. See, these questions definitely every year we have on an average 4, 3, 3, 2, 2 we are getting. So that's why you give importance, major importance to these topics. And miscellaneous questions, some miscellaneous questions, 3 questions are given on an average, right? I think you understand that pattern. Like, so what are the important topics we have? So if you follow it from the right beginning, right? If you follow it from the beginning, so it won't be a difficult task to qualify in the CSAT paper. Only thing is, if you give importance, so it will not be hurdle for your journey, UPSC journey. Okay? And also just look at that. What is the logical reasoning syllabus, which is officially given. So please just go through this logical reasoning. We have the terminology, the topics, classification, series, coding and decoding, blood relation, directions and tests, logical Venn diagram, alphabet test, seating arrangement, mathematical operations, ranking and time sequence test, clock, calendar, problems and measures, cubes and dice, syllogism, statements and argument, statement and course of action, statement and conclusion. So these are the topics which covers under logical reasoning. And you see that this is the official syllabus for the quantitative aptitude, and you can see that number system. As I told you, that the most important topic in the entire CSAT. Okay, so number system, simplification, surds and indices, LCM and HCF, ratio, proportion, percentages, partnership, profit and loss averages, time and distance, time and work, simple interest, compound interest, set theory, permutations and combination, probability, maturation. Okay, so these are the topics we have in quantitative aptitude. This is the official syllabus for CSAT. Okay. Right. Now, finally, I would say only one thing. CSAT, don't think it is a qualifying paper. It's in fact eliminating paper. Okay. So you will have to give equal importance to this CSAT paper. Only if you qualify in this paper, your dreams will come true. Okay, even if you get like in the GS paper 1, if you are exceptionally good, if you are unable to crack this paper, if you don't qualify this paper, you will have to start from the beginning only. Okay, so my solution would be, so right from the beginning you give importance to this CSAT. So minimum if you spend that 45 minutes every day, that would be enough. From now, if you start your preparation, minimum 45 minutes if you give, then it would be more than enough for CSAT. Okay? And now I'll also give you a rough idea. I'll take some previous year question and you can solve it now, so that you will get an idea that what type of questions, how the questions will be given in CSAT paper. Right? These are all previous year questions. So now let's solve some questions, few questions from this CSAT previous year questions. Okay? Now let's take this problem. Okay. See, here it is given that a gardener has 1,000 plants. He wants to plant them in such a way that the number of rows and the number of columns remains the same. What is the minimum number of plants that he needs for this purpose? It was a previous year CSAT question. Okay, now we solve this question. Most of the CSAT questions are like are not complicated. They're in fact easily can solve it. We can easily solve those type of questions. But the problem is, we need to know the concepts. And one more point, when you are preparing for CSAT, don't compare this with the other things. Like, so quantitative aptitude is almost all there for every entrance exam. Like if you write SSC, you have quantitative aptitude. If you write bankings, you have quantitative aptitude. If you write CAT, MAT, so for any exam, you have quantitative aptitude. Even if you write the state board exams like SI or Group 1, Group 2, so we have that quantitative aptitude. So you can't find out any exam without having that quantitative aptitude. But you should remember one point, even though it is the same quantitative aptitude, same syllabus we have, please remember that every exam has its own flavor. If you write banking exam, the banking exam quantitative aptitude pattern is in one way. If you write SSC exam, SSC quantitative aptitude in one way. Like the type of questions given are a kind of thing. Like for every exam, it has its own flavor. Okay, so when you are preparing for CSAT, CSAT quantitative aptitude is like other way, and you don't think it in the you don't think it like other exams. It's not like the other exams quantitative aptitude. So there, when you write the exams for other entrance exams like SSC, RRB or any exam, you have very limited time. But here, for each question, we get good enough time to understand the problem. Okay, because the questions are not directly shortcut based. Yes, of course, we use the shortcuts, but for limited problems only. CSAT, one thing you remember that CSAT is completely conceptual oriented exam pattern. Okay, you will get the questions based on the concepts. If you are very good at concepts, you can easily do it. You understand it? So it's a conceptual related questions. So the questions which you get in CSAT is related to the concepts, more on the concepts rather than the speed. Let's look at this problem. A gardener has 1,000 plants. He wants to plant them in such a way that the number of rows and the number of columns remains the same. What is the minimum number of plants that he needs more for this purpose? Okay, first, we need to understand the problem. We need to understand the problem. What is given? A gardener has 1,000 plants. A gardener has 1,000 plants. He wants to plant them in such a way that the number of rows and the number of columns remains the same.
Is this JX orientation class?
Yes. Yeah, this one only. He wants to plant them in such a way that the number of rows and the number of columns remains the same.
So sorry, this almost time has been to start this class.
It's already, I think, that 40 minutes. Okay, so here you can see that he wants to plant them in such a way that the number of rows and the number of columns remains the same. Okay, so anyway, so even though you are doing that quantitative aptitude question, so mostly it's related to the logic only. First, you need to understand the logic and you need to understand the problem. See, he wants to, a gardener has, it is given that a gardener has 1,000 plants and he wants to plant them in such a way that the number of rows and the number of columns remains the same. Forget about the numbers, just focus on the logic of this problem. And what is the main statement in this problem? The main statement in this problem is what? He wants to plant them in such a way that the number of rows and the number of columns should remain same. What does it mean? That suppose if he plants in 2 rows, the number of columns should be 2. Here it is given that he wants to plant them in such a way that the number of rows and the number of columns remain same. Let's say that suppose he wants to plant them in 2 rows. Okay, so 2 rows, which means that the number of columns should also be 2. Then tell me that what is the total number of plants he can plant? Total 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 plants, right? Similarly, suppose if he wants to plant them in such a way that where 3 rows and 3 columns, because the number of rows and the number of columns should remain same. 3 rows and 3 columns, right? What is the total number of plants he can plant? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Suppose let's take that 4. So first we should understand that what we are doing here. So 4 rows and 4 columns means the total number of plants he is planting is 16. Okay. Now what is the question? He had already 1,000 plants with him. He wants to plant them in such a way that the number of rows and the number of columns should remain same. For this purpose, what is the minimum number of plants that he needs more for this purpose? He wants to do that. One thing we can observe that if I want to make it in 2 rows, 2 columns, the total number of plants he is planting is 4. If he wants to make them in 3 rows and 3 columns, total number of plants is 9. If he wants to make them in 4 rows and 4 columns, total number of plants is 16. So what is this total number of plants value equal to? This 2, 4 relation is what? Square. 2 square value is 4, 3 square value is 9, 4 square value is 16. So in order to satisfy this condition, the final number should be what? It's a perfect square. It need to be a perfect square. In order to make the number of rows and the number of columns same, finally from this given information, one thing we understand that the final number should be a perfect square. Okay, so he already had 1000 plants. As we know that 1000 is not a perfect square. That's why he is asking the question, how many minimum number of plants he wants more. 1000 is not a perfect square. So in order to get a perfect square, what is the number we should add? The nearest number?
And 24.
Yes, 24. If I add plus 24, now we get 1024. 1024 is a perfect square. So that is the question he's asked, like what is the minimum number of plants he needs more for this purpose. He had already 1000. The nearest perfect square we take that is 1024. 1000, how much extra we need that? 24. So answer is what? 24. Here basically what we need to know, it's not the mathematical thing we are applying. Here we are applying that basic logic in order to make that number of horizontal and number of rows same. What is that condition? See, whenever you see this condition, number of rows and number of columns should remain same. The final number should be a perfect square. When I say something that I want to arrange something in equal number of rows, equal number of columns, which means that the final value is equal to what? A perfect square. That point, if you know that, we can easily do this problem. Okay? Clear? Yeah. Let's look at one more example, previous year paper. You can read that once.
This amount something this actually should be from cash publish.
See, a sum of 700 rupees has to be used to give 7 cash prizes to the students of a school for their overall academic performance. If each prize is 20 rupees less than its preceding price, what is the least value of prize? Okay. So first we need to understand the problem. What is the amount he had? It's, initially we have an amount of 700 rupees. This 700 rupees has to be used to give 7 cash prizes. Because 700 rupees are distributed into 7 cash prize to the school, to the students. And what is the condition is given here?
20.
Yes, each price is 20 rupees less than its preceding price. Okay. So, for example, if I take that 100 rupees, let's say that the price value is 100 rupees. First price value, let's say that 100 rupees. Then what is the next price value?
10 and 100.
Yes, 20 rupees less means that what? 80. So it is 100. Let's say, suppose that if the initial price cost is 100 and the next one is what? 80. Because each price should be equal to what? 20 rupees less than its preceding price. If I take the first one is 100 rupees, the next price value is what? 20 rupees less means that 80 rupees. The next price value, 20 rupees less means that 60. Next price is 40. Likewise, we have to take that. But we don't know what is the initial value, right? Initial price value, we don't know. The only information we had is 700 rupees is distributed into 7 prices. And also we know that each price is 20 rupees less than its preceding price. Then what is the least value of the price? Since we don't know the least value, since we don't know the first value, if we don't know anything in the mathematics, we always take that x as the value. If you don't know some value in mathematics, we take that x. Let's say that the initial value is x. Initial price value is x. If I take the initial first price value is x, what is the next price value? X minus 20. And next price value? 20 difference, right? X minus 20 means that x minus 40. Likewise, how many prices we have? 7 prices. This 700 rupees is distributed into 7 prices. So first price value, if I take that x, the next price value x minus 20, next price value x minus 40. Likewise, I have to take that 20 rupees less for each price, x minus 60, x minus 80, x minus 100, x minus 120. How many prices? 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 prices. Okay. These values are nothing but what is the total value of this? The total value of this is 700. This 700 rupees is only distributed into 7 prices. Which means that what? The total value of this is equal to 700. Right. So total value is nothing but adding the numbers. If you add all these values, x1, 2, 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x, 6. So how many? 7x. And also you add the numbers. So this is 200, 300, 400 and 20. So if I add all the values, so the value is equal to what? 7x minus 420, which is equal to what? 700. So here I write that 7x minus 420 is equal to 700. Therefore, 7x value is equal to what? This 400, when you take it to the other side, it becomes 1120. Then x value is equal to what? 1120 divided by 7. Then 7 1 is 7, 7 6 is 160. What is the x value? 160. What is this x represents? X represents the initial price value. So finally we got that value of x, which is nothing but 160. What does it represent? Initial price value. What we need to find out here, what is the least value of the price? Least value of the price. Here x value is not asked. What is the least value? So among these prices, what is the least value? The least value is x minus 120, right? So this value we need to find out. So least value is equal to what? Least value is equal to 160, x minus 120. X value is 160 minus 120, which is equal to what? 40. And this also, we would say that it's not just quant question. It's more maximum. We do it by the logic. Okay, step by step we do that, and logically we get the answer. Answer is what? 40. Let's look at that. Let's take one more example and the previous year question. What is the total number of digits printed if a book containing 850 pages is to be numbered from 1 to 850? There is a book and the book has the number of pages from 1 to 850. The book has the pages, like we have the book 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, likewise 850 pages. And here the question is, how many digits are printed if we take the number from 1 to page number 1 to 850. So basically here we need to find out the digit. So we need to know the difference between the digit and a number. What is meant by digit? Digit means that 0 to 9 is called digit. 0 to 9 is called digit. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All these are individually called digits. Numbers means that it is a combination of digits. Like if I take that 12, 1 and 2, individual digits, if you combine that is called a number. So suppose if you have that a book has 1 to 850, how many digits are printed? How many digits means that what? How many digits we are using? Okay, what are the single digits? In a book where we have 1 to 850 pages, page number 1 to 850, total we need to count that 850 till 850, how many digits we are using. So how many digits we are using means that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, till 9 it's okay. But from 10, 11, 12, so 10th page, so this total number of digits is what? 2. 11th page, total number of digits 2. So likewise, how many total digits we have? Okay, we are counting the total number of digits. For that, if you want to find out the answer, we'll have to segregate them into single digit, 2 digits and 3 digit. Tell me that how many single digit numbers we have. So single digit page numbers from 1 to 9, all are single digits. Page number 1 to 9, single digit number. How many digits we are using? Digits are 9. Next we take the 2 digit. 2 digit means that the numbers are from which number to which number? 10 to 99. 2 digit numbers means that 10 to 99. So 10 to 99, first of all, how many numbers we have? How many numbers we have from 10 to 99? It's 90 numbers. See, generally when you are finding out how many numbers are there from one number to another number, you take the difference plus 1. Difference between the two numbers plus 1. 10 to 99 means that how many numbers we have? 90 numbers we have. Okay. So 10 to 99 means that total we have 90 numbers. Okay. But we are counting the number of digits. We are counting the number of digits. It is a what? A 2 digit number, right? 2 digit number means that in 90 numbers, every number has 2 digits. Then tell me the total number of digits in these 2 digits. 90 into 2 only. Because every number has 2 digits. 90 into 2 means that 180. So how many 2 digit numbers are there means that 90, and the total number of digits we are using is what? 180. And similarly, now we take the 3-digit numbers. Here 3-digit numbers means that the book has till 850 pages only. So 3-digit numbers means that from which number to which number? From 100 to 850. 100 to 850 means that 750 plus 1. So because when you are counting that number of numbers from one number to another number, you take the difference between the two numbers plus 1. 750 plus 1 means that 751. How many page numbers we have from 100 to 850? The total number of page numbers are 751. We have 751 numbers. Like 100, 101, 102, 103 page number, 104 page number. Likewise, how many page numbers we have? 751 page numbers. But we are counting the number of digits. Each number consists how many digits? 3 digits. So I need to multiply with 3. So 3 1s are 3, 3 5s are 15, 3 7s are 21 plus 2 is what? 22. So what is the number we take here? 2253. So how many digits in total we are using? 9 plus 180. These are the 2-digit total number of 2 digits, and total number of 3 digits is this. So which means that what is the answer? 2442. Okay, this is one of the important questions. And in CSAT, there is one more important point. Please note down that. Please remember that. Most of the questions are repeated in the sense means not exactly the same number, but the models will be repeated. Okay, so if you take the questions from 2011 to 2025, if you practice all the questions, and you can easily clear the CSAT paper. So one of the key factors while you are preparing for CSAT is practicing the previous year questions from 2011 to 2025. If you solve each and every questions, maximum questions, I mean the models at least will be repeated, and the same concept questions will be repeated. So while you are preparing for CSAT, one of the important things you need to do is solving the papers previous year questions from 2011 to 2025. Okay, so this is about that complete CSAT orientation. If you have any doubts, you could ask me that. You have an idea? No, it's okay. Yeah, you can go for that. Yes. Okay. You are, right. If you have any doubts, you could ask me.
Sir, mark recording.
It's okay, you can ask me.
Mark like IIT jam clear chesi అన్నిటి వరంగల్లో ఫిజిక్స్ తనకు కూడా క్లియర్ అవ్వలేదు సార్.
CSAT
అనుకున్నంత కాదురా ఇది నువ్వు అనుకున్నంత సరదా.
CSAT
అవ్వలేదు.
CSAT, that's what I mean. You missed the beginning part, then you'll understand that. See, it's not that easy. CSAT. That's why I said that it's not qualifying paper, it's eliminating paper. 50 to 60 before last year, so many students just failed in this. 60 to 70% of the students just failed. They are exceptionally good at GS paper 1, but they are not able to clear this paper. But our students did well this time. Reason it's not, I mentioned already the reasons why they failed in it. Only thing is, you are not giving proper attention to this paper. That is the reason. Especially math students also, the problem is they don't give importance to this. Just like they think that they have maths, they know the maths, so that's why they don't give importance to this. But it's not like that. But on ground reality is completely different.
అంటే ఇప్పుడు ముందు అంటే ప్రిలిమ్స్ ఎన్ని రోజుల ముందు స్టార్ట్ చేస్తాం అంటే కొత్తగా స్టార్ట్ చేస్తారు.
So why you should start from the beginning only? So wait, spending 45 minutes or half an hour to 45 minutes, it won't be a difficult task, right? I'm not asking you to completely allot this time to CSAT. Just 30 minutes to 45 minutes every day is more than enough. If you start from today, as early as possible, you start it. Don't drag until the last minute. Don't wait till the last minute. And most of the students started their preparation in the month of February or January. That's the biggest mistake they are doing. See, CSAT also has a vast syllabus. How do you cover all these things within 2 months or 3 months? Even GS you can memorize, but CSAT is not like that. You will have to practice. It comes with the practice. Practice means that every day you need to practice. You will have to give minimum 6-7 months time for practice to get through each and every concept. Okay.